There are two boxes on the buffet table, one for USB links, look like this. One for temperature sensors, looks completely different. Get one of each. I've given you an old chemistry book. Its purpose is to act as a platform. In case you spill the chemicals, this will keep the computer dry. So here are my materials from the buffet table. Temperature sensor, USB link. Those will plug together. The other end of the USB link plugs into the computer on the side here. You hear the sound, and the computer recognizes there is something in the USB port, and it asks you, how would you like to use this new sensor? The correct choice is Data Studio in the middle. There's Data Studio loading up. You will now see on screen its graph. On the x-axis is time, on the y-axis is temperature. So now I have on screen the temperature versus time graph. Here in the margin, you'll want to click on an option that is called digits. When you click on that, it will open a window that allows you to see the temperature in digital display. I'll click and drag that so it's not covering up my graph. So now if I zoom out, I have a graph screen here, a digits window here, and at the bottom is the help guy who says click the start button to begin collecting data. So start button is up here at the top, clearly labeled start. So I'll click on that to begin collecting data. Click. You can see it's starting to read temperature here, and it's starting to graph. If I warm the temperature probe, the temperature rises. The graph also rises. So this is a very handy way of collecting data, especially when the temperature is fluctuating. Some time has passed. I'll now click on stop. So now it stops reading. So now if I look at this graph, it's okay, but it's not very good. It's not using the space well. So there is a button in the corner here that you will want to use. I'm zooming in to this button in the corner. If I put my mouse over that button in the corner, it says scale to fit. And that's exactly what I want. I want the graph to fit the scale. So I click on that, and you can now see my graph looks much better. It has much more detail. So this initial slope is where I was warming it up with my fingers, and this is where it was cooling back gradually, returning to close to room temperature. So this is a button you'll want to use. Again, scale to fit in the corner. The other technology you'll want to use is put your cursor on the graph, do a right click. You get some choices here. The one you want is called statistics. So when I click on statistics, now on my graph appears a little window that tells me the minimum temperature, the maximum temperature, and the average temperature for the time period in question. The one you're interested in today is that minimum temperature, because you're trying to make that go to less than 0 degrees Celsius. If your computer goes to sleep, you will need to restart Data Studio. Logged in as guest. So now if I click start, it doesn't work. Start over. So if your computer goes to sleep, you'll want to just start over by plugging in your sensor, launch Data Studio. It'll be ready to collect data then.